All right. I don't even know how to say this because I've been so excited for this moment for a long time. But we can retire the daddy doll. Because
I'm officially here.
Mr. Willis is back. Yes. I am so excited. I'm so happy that you're here. It's just literally feels like a weight has been lifted off me, like my shoulder, everything. Like, how are you feeling?
I feel great. I mean, it's we've been here before, right? I've came home 4 times now,
4 times now. Wow.
but it's like always different. So there's nothing the same. It's a reality that I don't think you ever get used to. But I'm very grateful to be back, and the doll's great, but
Yeah, let's say bye to this doll.
I
Bye.
think I think I'd rather be here. So
Yes, 1,000%. Oh my goodness. So this deployment, it was like a whole lot for both of us, but I feel like for me, it was like it was my first deployment. Like that I chose to stay home, and not I go back to Brazil to stay with my family. So it was like mentally, I don't know, very tiring, overwhelming. It was like a lot, but I'm just so grateful that that's over. Like maybe we can
as I say,
get
you
today a little bit more, like talk about it, how things were. How about you? You start. You
you
tell
want
me
me to
first.
start?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
I
want
was
you to
about to
start.
say.
Yeah, I think I want you to
Yeah,
start.
I was about to start with you, but me. So what? How was this deployment?
Yeah, how was this deployment?
This deployment was shorter, so we'll start with some positives, right? This deployment was shorter. That was great. We had connectivity most of the time, so I was able to talk with them, which was awesome.
Yes,
Often, so it was
had
good.
Wi-Fi for the first time.
Like consistently,
Yeah.
yeah. So that was nice. We did some basic stuff, nothing crazy, so it was not like it was too distracting from kind of being able to stay connected back here at home.
Yes.
Everything went well as far as the job and stuff. So there's no hiccups or anything that made anything too much more difficult than it should be.
Yeah.
We had a big inspection, but thank God I didn't have too much of a part in that.
You made Sailor of the Quarter.
Oh, I did. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I won Sailor of the Quarter.
And he's up for Sailor of the Year right now.
So I'm seeing how that
Very
plays
proud
out.
of you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So there's some positives. I got my eval while I was out there, which turned out very well.
How does it feel to know that you may not have to deploy ever again?
For me, it
For
feels
you.
amazing.
Yeah.
I can't wait to ask you that later. But no, I think it's something that I'm very happy about because oddly enough, I was the sailor. I joined to be a sailor, but I'm like the sailor that doesn't want to sail. You know, I love the job, I love what I do, but now like with the family, like the whole distance piece, I'm
Hard.
good. Yeah. But there was obviously ups and downs, right? So that was most of the positives.
And you guys, what were you guys doing there? You had Bible study going on.
We did. We had I kind of helped head that up with my lieutenant. So we had a little Bible study group, which was nice. Kept us connected. When we were in Spain, we got to go. I went to church there. Met with some of the chaplains.
That's nice.
They came on board as well.
Now we can say which ship you're on. We can say
I could talk. I could do a whole episode on
where
it.
you guys were at. That's true. So your ship, what's the name of your ship?
So it's funny because I guarantee you, I could say the class of the ship, which is like the type, and people are gonna be like, "What is that?" Right? Not. I don't know I'm guessing, but I'd say there's probably like 10% of the Navy
Knows it.
about what an ESB is, right?
Yeah.
So it's Expeditionary Sea Base.
I don't even know what that is, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
It's a ship.
it's a base
Yeah.
at sea, kind of. I know. So we're just this big, actually the third largest ship in the Navy,
Wow.
and
Can I put a picture of the ship maybe in the video?
absolutely put like in the
I'll
bottom
put a
corner.
picture. Yeah, I'll put a picture of Kyle's ship right here. Right here.
So we're massive, big chunk of metal out there, and the ship name is the USS Herschel Williams. Awesome dude. He recently passed since I was on board, so that was kind of a sad moment for us, but awesome guy.
Yeah.
I love to tell his story sometime.
Yes, we should go back and like do a recap of like your whole time in that ship because before, during this whole entire time, I have never put the name of his ship out there on the internet.
No.
People would like asking me, "Oh, what ship he's on?" You know, and maybe for some people it's okay to share. Kids just came out from school. uh,
And
just in case, yeah.
hopefully you can't hear that, but it is very distracting.
Yeah, I don't share anything. Like I take it very serious. Like I know that like I share life, but I don't share any details. I don't share the name of the ship. I don't share timeline. Even if I post like 10 days before he deploys, he probably deployed, and he's been gone for like 2 weeks. Literally, this past deployment, I start sharing the 10 days before he deploys. After 2 or 3 weeks that he was already in the ship. So like I really like I don't play with this stuff, and then people say like, oh, be careful, like OPSEC, like the Navy rule. I was like, it's because they don't know like how exactly how I'm doing. You know, even more someone just see in my video like for the first glance, the first time, like they don't really know like who I am and how I do things. But like I do not play with this stuff. You know, I'd rather like be safe and just wait. And also for us too, you know, it was
for the home, especially this time since you were here.
But so you were in the USS Herschel Williams, yeah, yeah. And then where were you for most of the time?
So we used to hang out a lot around Africa.
Yeah.
We actually went all the way down, circumvented Africa.
Tell some of the places like Kenya, Mozambique.
We went to Kenya. Been to just where I've been in general.
Yes, just some places.
Kenya. We've been to Seychelles. That's actually where it started, right? Seychelles. We went to Tanzania. Went to Namibia. South Africa. We've been all around Africa. Ghana, plenty of times.
Which one is your favorite country in Africa?
It's very interesting because I felt super ignorant when I went there, but I think it was the first one was Tanzania and Namibia, kind of like a tie, East Coast and West Coast, right? And so we went there, and I expected, I don't know, something, and I showed up, and it was completely different. The architecture, how modern, how just super developed that place was. I think Namibia, though, because they had like these massive sand dunes.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Remember that one?
I remember.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And
you did like some work there too. It was nice. Like you played soccer with like some kids at school. We should put like some of those pictures.
Yeah.
You painted the school too.
We just called community relations.
Yeah.
It's
I
fun.
remember. It was
But yeah, so that was a little glimpse of the ship I was on and what we did. But I can dive into that more.
Yeah.
But this deployment was good. It was short.
Super quick.
And yeah, I mean there are definitely some difficult times. Obviously the distance will always weigh on you at some point or another. I think one of the things I said in a reel that you posted was like, you know, when you're out at sea, the days are long, the weeks are short. So maybe it's the opposite, but either way, there's this feeling that you're just kind of like the same thing every day. Right? It's Groundhog's Day, and we were out to sea for certain parts for a longer time than we're used to, and so that kind of starts to weigh on you. And
how did you deal? I'm sorry. Like, how did you deal with like whenever you're feeling very down, very low? You know, like those moments that felt like home are so far away, and you know, like how did you cope with that?
Well, initially, right, you always have your community there. So I have a little community. Like kind of the camaraderie that we build on a ship underway is awesome. So I always have the guys I go to and talk with, hang out, kind of distract myself. And I also have this amazing wife that does little things like gives me these little surprises to kind of bring with me as I'm out there. And so those are amazing. Little notes, something as small as a sticky note to this time she got me like a mug. She got me actually multiple mugs, which I love because I drink.
You got so many deployment mugs.
I know. I'm stocked.
Yeah.
And so I've got like just little things, right? It's like a mug with my kids' faces on it, our kids' faces on it. And it's great. It's just something small where I look at that as I'm having like a tough time and I'm like, it'll be okay. This is only temporary. So, but yeah, I mean, I stay connected. Obviously I've got my Bible. I've got things, you know, I learned something this time around. But I just kind of finally thought about it and I typed in like pulled up the Bible app on the computer to because where I work at, I can't have my phone. And so I had just right there, always accessible, the Bible. And it was awesome because that's something I never really did before. I'd have my devotional books in there and stuff, but I was like, never had the Bible in my space. Yeah. And that was cool just to have it boom right there. I'd come in each day, hit refresh, give me the verse of the day, kind of start with that, and it was good.
That's nice. And like, it's not because like he's done with the SC duty that we're not gonna come back here and with like all of like advice and tips, like how we actually like cope, you know, like we can try and like write everything down, you know, like I feel like this episode is gonna be more like a recap of like how this past deployment was and how like what's going on in our life right now.
Oof.
But I would love to just like come back here and just like literally talk about how to get through deployment. We can do like how to get through as a sailor, how to get through as a spouse, you know, like to just really like just share like things that we have done it that helped.
Absolutely, because I can sit here and share all this. I'll just share a lot of positives. There's always, like I said, the negatives, the distance, and missing home, missing my wife, missing my kids. Yes, but if you were to ask 10 other sailors on the ship how their deployment went,
Yeah.
you're not going to get the same response, and it's sad because I think a lot of things that happen to other people can be prevented if they would maybe apply some of the things that we do, kind of to protect and secure what we care
Anything
about.
like in the like affairs kind of way.
Yeah, we'll dive all into that. I'm excited.
Yes, for sure. Like it's sad like what happens. We have like a rule, you know, a way that we go through it, because if it's already hard on like couples that they live together and stay together day to day, you know, like for couples that are thousands of miles away from months, you know, like you just it's
So, shift gears here.
yeah. Oh.
Unless you have more questions for me, but I think
No, yeah.
that was a good little recap.
Yeah.
So for you,
For me.
I know a lot, so I'll try and break down what I know through her. What was different? You kind of mentioned it earlier, but what was different for you about this deployment?
This deployment, oh my goodness. Just to go back, not going back all the way, but like going back, like the last deployments, I chose to go back home for a lot of the time. My last deployment, I spent 5 months back home with my family, literally. The day after he deployed, I packed the whole house, not the whole house, but like all of our
Almost,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, 15 bags. And then I went back to Brazil with our children, and I stayed there for 5 months until he got back there to pick us up. So, and then I did something similar, like for all of our deployments, you know.
You were always
Yeah.
not here the whole time.
Yeah. The first one, I left before he even deployed, literally.
I dropped them off.
Yeah, he dropped us off because like I feel like I didn't want to go through this first like dropping him off. I don't know. I just don't think I would be strong enough. Maybe I'm sure I would have, you know, but I just
At the time,
it
and
was
honestly,
gonna be my first time.
it made sense too. I loved it because I got to drop them off.
Yeah, know that we were safe going to the airplane and
Off, yeah.
yeah, so the first time he dropped us off, and then the second time we went to visit him, that was like a unique situation. That was a blessing. I was pregnant.
Very pregnant.
Very pregnant. And then the third one, we already had 3 kids. Bo was like a little baby, you know, like, so yeah. And that's crazy to talk about it because we're talking about the third deployment. It feels like years ago, but this was this year.
Literally this year.
This year. So like I feel like we're gonna get back to like how I'm doing and how I was. But I have solo parented for 8 months this year.
It's ridiculous.
8 months. So out of this 12 months we had this year, 8 months we were away from each other. Isn't it crazy?
The military, I tell you.
Literally, I feel like we literally got to experience the military lifestyle, because we talked about before coming to Virginia, how how like we were only experiencing like Kyle working in a desk or being an instructor, stuff like that.
Yeah.
He would still come back home every day, you know. So like he's in the military and all of that, but we had never experienced as a family, you know, like this actual like deployment and separation, time away. So I feel like we definitely got like a huge taste of it for 3 years almost. Yeah.
I mean, but even before that, right? Her real quick, just her and I met on I was on a real shore duty, which meant that I was not I was working 8 hours a day when it was easy. It was easy. But then the most of our life, we were at RTC.
Yeah.
I was a drill instructor.
Which was hard. It was not easy. He was working like 12 to 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. I feel like whenever I think about it, actually, I was like, wow, like you unfortunately weren't present for a lot of like both a pregnancy and birth, but like went back to think like Emma and Noah was the same.
Yeah, I was away.
You were away, like you like coming home to sleep, because being a boot camp instructor, it's like no joke. Like you literally work so much. Yeah. So like I was just thinking like for Emma and Noah too, you know, like so answering your question. I don't know if there was a time that I always get asked, but I don't know, being waiting for the right time. Maybe it's here, you know, right now in the podcast coming back. The question is like, do we want to have any more kids?
Oof.
Yeah.
Should
And
say, you want to speak about that now?
no, just like a quick one. Don't have to answer
Okay.
it,
All right.
but I would say yes.
Yeah.
From my perspective, my point of view, because like
Mm-hmm.
I would love to have one more, and
It'd be normal.
it'd be normal. It's just
I could be there. Could
yeah,
take
be
you.
spoiled. Yeah, just like
Mm-hmm.
be laying down on the couch because I'm nauseous. I'm not feeling good. Not having to force myself to do everything and not feeling good. Like.
Yeah.
But
We could do that.
you want to have one more?
Yeah. Yeah. One more.
One more.
Or even for another girl, because Emma's got all her chips on girl.
Yeah, I would love to have a sister, but sorry, go back. You can go back to deployment. Yeah.
So it was different because one, you were here the whole time,
Mm-hmm.
and two, you now have 3 grown toddlers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My goodness, Bo's.
Bo is Bo is what 16 months old right now, and then so we have a 16-month-old, a 3.5-year-old, and a 5-year-old. So we have 3 little kids that they all depend a lot on me. Mainly Bo, like Bo's like was still fully dependent. So it was a lot. It was a lot mentally. I was drained. Like it's just choosing to be here. I know why we chose to be here. But it was like a whole lot. There was like so many days that like I would just watch everything. I'm gonna cry because like
I know, right?
it was hard. It was like because like I truly like didn't know how I was gonna do it. It was like literally God putting the right people in the right time to help me, or just like a worship or like a message from you guys. You have no idea how much. Just like reading the messages that you guys send me, all like you helped me through these. I'm going through exactly the same. Just helped me so much. So like this was hard, and literally like it was mentally very, very, very hard to be taking care of 3 little kids, and Bo was still breastfeeding, so I would be like nonstop from morning until afternoon and then night and in the middle of the night. So like sleep regressions and then just not having that break, because I feel like when you were in a normal family, like you're waiting for a husband to get back from work so you can have that 30-minute break or that 1 hour to just go shower and just go, I don't know, like reset. And I didn't have that,
No.
so it literally feels like days that turns into weeks and then weeks that turns into months. And I don't know, it's just I literally tried my best, but some days just felt like my best was not enough, like taking care of them with my cup constantly feeling like it's empty. And but then like how I said, like God was always like putting the right people in the right time, the right moment. I feel like this is not the right time. There was definitely like a situation during this deployment that like it hurt me so much. It was like with something that happened around here, don't talk much about it, but there was a situation that happened here, the neighborhood, that it hurted me like a whole lot, something that like I did not expect. So that I feel like almost broke me because this was my comfort zone. This was my comfort, like I don't know. So like just losing a little bit of what I thought was so sure, what I had.
What we had, yeah.
What we had, something that I felt like we worked so hard to do it, like, and I'm the kind of person, that like I love like showing love through surprises, through like that's just who I am. Like whenever we met, we were together, like dating, like boyfriend and girlfriend for maybe like some few months, and then it was like his birthday, and then I threw him like a huge a surprise party without knowing. Friends from work.
Yeah, I had no idea.
I just like I messaged his friends, stuff like that. This was way before Instagram, way before all of this. It's just literally like who I am. Like if it's like your birthday and I know you, like I want to try and make it special for you, because I feel like birthdays are supposed to be like that. So like I literally like everything that like I have done for people around us, it was like always to make them feel special, stuff like that. So like what happened to me happened. I feel like literally like I don't know, it just hurted me. And then so being that hurt, taking care of 3 kids, and having to deal with this, waiting until Kai was back, and it was like a whole lot. But that's when God took me out my comfort zone, right? Because this was how I told you guys, like I felt like I kind of lost my comfort place. God took me out my comfort zone and put me somewhere where I feel like I needed to be, and I wouldn't have gone if this hadn't happened.
Right.
Because I'm not. I'm gonna say like I'm not. I I drive since I was 21, but like I I had a really bad car accident, so that means that like I get scared of driving.
Well, you also you didn't drive like since we left Chicago. You kind of took a little break because we went from 2 vehicles to one, and then it was like I like driving when it's her and I, and that was kind of something that I put us in that situation in a sense. But you stopped driving for a while.
No, and I also like I love so much like you were driving and I'm just sitting in the passenger seat, you know, like. But like I stayed like 2 years without driving, and then like I get super scared of driving. So like I was in a position that like I needed to go back to driving, but I was like, if I don't need to go, I'm not gonna go. So I just have like what I need down here. I'm just gonna stay here. So like I was just comfortable. So like after this happened, I was like, okay, I need to get out my comfort zone. That's when I started driving, going to places, going to the library with the kids. I found a Bible study that literally feel like today actually we had a Bible study, and it was perfect. It was like so amazing because they asked us like what's like how this a Bible study has helped in this season, you know, like and to describe of like hope, joy, or peace. Like which word would we describe how the Bible study was? And I told them like how so many days I went there feeling broken, feeling overwhelmed, feeling tired, feeling like mentally like not well, literally like drain it in a way that like, and that place would just bring me peace. Literally like bring me so much peace and just pouring to me something that like I just needed in order to be after like pour back to the kids. Community is like so important. Like if you're a mom or even not a mom, like just going through deployments or whatever you're going in life, like community is like just so important. Like I delayed so much being part of like groups at church or just doing something, you know, like something that's gonna help pour into you, because I feel like we're constantly like even like the moms like pouring so much into our children, and you know like so this literally helped me so much. And then I told them there was peace, that like that would just give me what I needed, you know. But yeah, so I only started going to that, something that I feel like it was like life changing for me after something happened that got me out of my comfort zone. So I just like to see life this way, you know, like I know that sometimes in life bad things and good things happen. And so I like to take it like, for example, so okay, this happened, but in order, but so like trying to take the good, you know, out
bad.
of out of the bad, you know, okay, this bad happened to us, to me, stuff like that. But I started going to this a Bible study because of that happening, you know, like so it's just you know.
Yeah, I mean the enemy threw something at you, and God took it and said, "Okay, watch this." Yeah. And it was great. I remember when she told me that she was gonna go do this and stuff, and at first I was like, "Okay, again, something new, right?" So yeah, I was very impressed. But I was like, it was new. The initial feeling was not impressed. It was like, oh, like new, right? Different, not uncomfortable for me per se, but it was just uneasy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. So then I prayed about it, right? Because I'm like, okay, she's about to go. I think you went with Emma the first time? No.
Yeah, I went to Emma the first time.
So you go with Emma. So there's a lot of new, right? And me, again, I'm thousands of miles away. So it's not as easy as like, oh, hey, we need help. Or, oh, hey, you know, it's like I may not be able to be at the computer or have Wi-Fi or whatever. Yeah. And so I just had to be like, okay, my hands are up. It's on. It's with you, God. And sure enough, it was amazing. It was great.
One of the hardest parts during deployment, it's like something happened and you want to talk to your husband, want to talk to your person. That's all you needed, all you wanted. And you can't because they don't have like the connection. Even though like, he had Wi-Fi, it's not like where he sleeps. So like I can just call him in the middle of the night, like, oh, something happened. Like, let's talk it through, like talk with me, like we can't. So like having to like go through it by yourself and then wait until the next day or the next time to have internet. that's for me like a really
I can't imagine what it was like 20, 30 years ago. My goodness.
My goodness.
Write a letter.
Yeah, writing a letter about something. Yeah, and then wait weeks to get it there. Yeah.
So how were What about the kids? Tell us a little bit. How are the kids' deployment compared to others?
I think Bo was the one that missed you the most. And literally, this
He
little
did.
boy, he would see the phone and he would like. I'm not saying
When you
because
see it,
because
he'd,
he wanted the phone.
you'd
He
hear
would
my
see Kyle.
voice.
He would hear his voice and he would start crying because he
Nah.
wanted to hold the phone with Kyle. And if you'd give him the phone with anything, like he wouldn't care about the phone. It's not about the phone. It's about he wanted to be Emma too. And like I feel like Emma, she's bigger now. She's more mature. Like so she helped me. She had like so many sweet moments that she would like, oh mommy, I prepared the pajamas in the bed for you. Like that was so sweet. Like little things. And I remember, like sometimes at the end of the day when I was so tired, like we're talking about like some nights is sleeping 3-4 hours and then taking care of kids the whole entire day and then non-stop.
Not even like 3 or 4 good hours. Probably like just 3 or 4.
I'm talking.
Because those kids, just so you know, our kids sleep not as much anymore than at home. But like when I'm away, the kids are in the bed. What percentage wise?
Oh, the kids are in the
Yeah.
Oh, they were in the bed the whole time, the whole entire time. And then Bo would wake up like 2 or 3 times, in the middle of the night. So it's just like I was sleeping very little, and then like Bo was having like a sleep regression that some nights would be awake for 2 or 3 hours in the middle of the night.
You called me on some of those.
Yeah, and like literally like just be awake from like I don't know, like literally, and then I would have to wake up early because Noah was up. So it was rough. It was rough.
Emma's obviously the oldest, but she's definitely our best sleeper.
Yeah.
That girl sleeps till.
Noah's good too. He just wakes up earlier. But then like Emma would tell Noah, we gotta be good because mommy's alone. It's just us and mommy, okay? And yeah, she would say that to him like so many times. But the kids were great. Literally, they were amazing this time. All the other times too, but they were really good.
Awesome.
Yeah. Any other questions?
So, I think I alluded to this earlier just a little bit, but so with this being my last deployment, hopefully ever.
Yes.
How does it make you feel?
It makes me feel very happy, extremely happy to know that we won't have to be away from each other ever again. But also at the same time, it's just that I don't know, I feel like I did this by myself for like so long, or like knowing that. So we're gonna have to like rediscover, like I don't know, it's gonna be a whole new chapter.
It is.
And we haven't even talked about this chapter.
Oh,
we
yeah.
haven't even talked like when it's starting.
Soon.
You guys, this chapter is starting probably by the time this goes live.
I was gonna say,
it's like shortly after that.
How long have I been home right now?
I mean, for a while. Don't have to talk about it. No,
right.
Don't talk about it. No, don't talk about how long you're home. Not at all. You can cut this. Just talk about the chapter and just talk about leaving home.
So right now, the chapter is I'm currently home on what?
Moving leave?
Transfer leave, yeah.
Transfer leave. Oh.
I have no job right now, and
You got no job right now.
Got no
You're
job.
detached is the right word.
Oh yeah, I detached from the Herel Williams.
Yeah.
And now I'm on my way somewhere else.
We are moving, you guys. I'm not talking of moving like in 2 or 3 months.
Very soon.
We are moving before the New Year's.
Yeah.
Before the end of this year. We are moving. Like, we are not moving like to another state. Our pack out's coming. And then we are moving to another country.
We are. Thousands of miles away.
Thousands of miles away. But we'll talk about it in our next podcast.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
This was just a little recap of this last deployment, and again, we've been a little distant from our podcast, but
yes, but we're back. We're back, baby.
we are. We definitely have a lot to unpack, and
yes.
Good news is we kind of like I did a lot of this when I was underway and stuff, and on the ship, I would put kind of like thoughts, things that popped in my head, kind of put it all on my phone, jot it all down, so that when we come kind of in this forum, we can actually unpack it. Yeah, not necessarily fresh, but like I have all those fresh thoughts in my phone.
That's a good one.
And kind of observations, things I've seen, things I've heard. And yeah, we look forward to coming back here and making it happen.
And we promise that we will be consistent. We don't know how consistent it's going to be. Like, we don't promise it's gonna be once a week or every 2 weeks, but at least once a month. And,
For
you know,
sure.
we can do this, you know, and at least once like we get settled, because
Yeah,
like our
yeah.
life's about to change so much right now, and we can't wait to bring you guys with us in this next chapter that we will be able to be more consistent.
Absolutely.
You know, like
Yeah.
we
Once
will
we
be
get
able,
settled.
yeah, once we get settled, you know. But I want to share this whole journey of like moving and PCSing and yeah, all of that with kids. You know, it's gonna be
First time with kids.
overseas.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Sorry, yeah. Overseas, first time with kids.
Yeah,
We went from Chicago to here.
yeah,
Well, actually, Chicago, San Diego. San Diego to here.
yeah.
But yeah, this overseas piece is definitely going to be quite the journey.
But I hope you guys liked it. If you guys want to ask us any questions, literally like just ask any questions here, and we'll be sure to answer in the next one. You know, just, you know, go through some questions, and I really want to, like how I said before, I really want to talk about it, like how we do deployments and all of that. We'll just like try and get through right now first, you know, like this PCS season, and once we get settled, you know, like maybe we can start like a whole, you know, deployment, you know, how we get through deployment episodes, stuff like that.
For sure. Well, thank you for your time, and
thank you for watching.
yeah, this one's gonna
listening
be
and watching.
Yeah, this one's gonna be on YouTube, probably on
And
Instagram and all that stuff too. And then I will get it out to all the other podcast places and make it happen.
all right, thank you. Have a good day.
All right, take care. God bless. Heavenly Father, into your presence today, Lord, thank you so much for this day. Thank you so much for everything you're doing for us, Lord.